Hi, I'm Awesome Annie, your awesome health coach. And today I'm going to talk about top tips and tricks to weight loss and weight management. I want to say thank you so much to Dallas Professional Women uh, and for featuring me today on the Learn Something New series. So, a little bit about me. Uh, a little bit about me. I am Awesome Annie, your awesome health coach. And this is my husband. He and I have been married for almost 20 years, and we have five amazing children. And one of the things that, one of the reasons why I'm sharing my top tips and tricks is I have struggled with my weight for the last 20 years. And the tips and tricks that I'm sharing is what has helped me shed 75 pounds in 8 months last year in 2019. And so, what are your biggest struggles when it comes to healthy living? So, here's me as a young adult, and on the day that I got married in 2000. And what I thought that I was living a healthy life. I thought I was a true example of healthy living only because of one reason, and that is I was slender. I thought because I'm slender, I am a great example of healthy living. What I've learned is that's not true. Being thin or skinny is not the same as healthy living. And the reason is I had very unhealthy habits, and that has led to me putting on an extreme amount of weight. And uh, it was eye opening to me to see these. So in 2014, I had already had my fifth child by that point, and I was struggling. That was my first realization that I had. I was obese. I was considered obese by a doctor. And I realized that bad habits is what happened between 2000 when I was married and where I am up until last year. And the reason I was awakened to the bad habits is uh, that led me from this to this is back in my first experience, I guess, is in college. I remember my brother calling me up and saying, "Hey, I'm going to go to the gym to work out. Do you want to come with me?" And I remember saying to him, "No, I don't need that. I don't need to go to the gym because I'm healthy." But what I realize now is I had extremely bad habits. I was constantly eating my emotions, eating when I was happy, sad, eating my anxiety, eating when I was bored. I was not getting good sleep, skipping meals, and I wasn't practicing healthy movement. I wasn't exercising, or I was exercising to punish myself. And so when I realized that I had this issue, that I was very unhealthy, I was very tired, I was in a lot of pain, I was standing at the doorstep of diabetes, high blood pressure, high cholesterol. That's what my family on both sides, my mom and my dad, I was at the beginning of 2019, I was 235 pounds. So between 2014 and 19, I tried everything to lose weight. I was trying all sorts of plans, all sorts of pills, all sorts of supplements. And the good news is a lot of that worked. I was able to lose 5, 10, 15, even 30 pounds. The bad news is a lot of that, the weight just came back on. None of them was sustainable. And I saw my sister-in-law, who's a health coach, and I said, I watched her lose weight, but the difference was she was keeping it off. And so I asked her, what is different? Why are you losing, how are you losing weight and keeping it off? And she shared with me, it's about healthy habits. It's about having healthy tools for weight loss and weight management and having healthy habits. And that's the difference. That's why this will work when it comes to weight loss and weight management. So, what does that mean? Healthy tools. So, number one, it's having a health coach, having someone that you can lean into, someone that when you're succeeding, that will cheer you on, and when you're struggling, someone that you can lean into to ask questions. If And my health coach, she was telling me, Annie, if you could have done this alone, you would have done it already. And that's true. um, Having a coach there to guide you is important. The second part was having an education. So this is my book, Habits of Health. This is a book written by Dr. Wayne Anderson. And as a certified health coach, this is one of my tools that I use as I teach my clients healthy habits, because the idea is we want to change habits, not for short term to lose the weight, but keep these habits for the rest of your life, to manage your weight for the rest of your life. The third tool is having a community, having other people, knowing that you're not alone, that you can do this and celebrate with others, ask questions. And I'm a part of several Facebook groups where we do this, where we share our successes and our victories, and we share our struggles. And the last tool is one of another healthy habit, which is how to get healthy hydration, healthy nutrition, healthy movement. We don't teach diet and exercise. We don't teach cheating or comfort food, because those are short term ways to lose weight, and it doesn't focus on the long term, the sustainability of it. So, healthy habits that I teach: number one, I teach healthy hydration. So as soon as you wake up in the morning, drink water. Keep a bottle of water by your bedside table. The reason is, whatever we first eat or drink is what our body craves all day. And if one of the tools for healthy weight loss and healthy management is healthy hydration, then our goal should be drinking a minimum of 64 ounces of water a day. We want our bodies to naturally start craving the water. The other healthy habit is eating 6 times a day. We don't skip meals. Um, and skipping meals is teaching your body that you're not fueling. So why does these habits work? Well, you have to understand how our body works. So believe it or not, our body is technically, physiologically the same as our 10,000-year-old ancestors. We are walking around with 10,000-year-old body in modern time. And what I mean by that is, think about our ancestors, the cavemen. What did they do? Their job, per se, is to go out. They hunted and gathered, and they had this natural physiological response when it came to gathering food. They had this response to eat everything. They expended a little bit of energy just to survive, and their bodies created fat, and their bodies would hold on to fat, because the next day they had that same anxiety to go out and hunt and gather. But what if they didn't get anything? They could then survive another day because they were storing fat. So our bodies are still the same. We still have that response, that natural response to go to the grocery store, gather all the things, especially now when we're in this pandemic, sheltering in place. We have that hoarding mentality. We to stock up our fridge, stock up our pantry, but then we're diving into the natural response of high anxiety to eat all the things. And if we're not practicing healthy habits, then we find ourselves naturally having that response to eat all the things. And we are practicing what cavemen did, which is fight or flight. If something is shaking in the bush, that's either food that they're going to get to survive another day, or high anxiety, it's something that's about to eat them. For us, we might consider that plan or panic. And so in our case, it's a way of being proactive or reactive. So we want to practice healthy habits so that we're fueling our body, not fueling our feelings, so that we are controlling our health and not giving into the pandemic, and not finding ourselves grazing, and taking control of our weight loss and weight management. So the reason this is important is our responses have become our habits. So if you think about the last 30 days while we've been sheltering in place, or even before that, think about how you looked at nutrition. The way I looked at it is, I had years of habits of skipping meals, eating my emotions, eating when I'm happy, eating when I'm sad. And if you think about a car on a dirt road, if it's traveling on the dirt road, you can see those ruts. And by changing, we want to change those habits so that we're being proactive, and we're trying to change that reactive behavior into proactive. So we look at we plan out our daily routine, and we plan out in the morning: drink water. The goal is 64 ounces of water a day. And then we plan, don't skip meals. We plan to eat 6 times a day: breakfast, morning snack, lunch, afternoon snack, dinner, evening snack. And what that does is, it gives us a chance to look at what we're eating, look at the nutrition side of it. Is what I'm eating going to fuel my body? Or am I eating this because I'm anxious? Am I eating this because I'm bored? Am I eating this because I'm happy? And by changing how we look at nutrition, how we look at what we're drinking, is what I'm drinking going to hydrate my body, or is it going to cause me to be dehydrated? It helps us kind of take ownership of our health. And one of the things that Dr. Anderson one of the things that Dr. Anderson teaches is this mindset of stop, challenge, choose. We want to change that rut of all these years, or even the last 30 days of these habits of eating our emotions. And we want to decide, is what I'm going to eat good for me or not? We don't look at food as good or bad, but we look at the nutritional value of it. For example, cake. Is this cake, if we're celebrating, is this cake going to help me be healthy? Is it going to spike up my blood sugar? Is it going to stabilize my blood sugar? Is it going to spike it up? When I eat it, how will I feel? I'll get that sugar rush, and then I might crash. I might need to take a nap. If I'm craving something sweet, what I need is a sweet vegetable or a sweet fruit instead. And then I can decide, it's not a cheat. Instead, I'm choosing, if I'm going to have the cake, what if I choose to have a bite to satiate, like to satisfy that feeling of, I want to celebrate a birthday, for example. I'm just going to have a bite. I'm not going to eat the entire cake. And then I'm going to challenge myself to choose something else, and to choose my health over eating my anxieties or eating my boredom, to stay away from the kitchen. For example, health, diet, and exercise. We don't teach eat the cake and then run 10 miles to counter it. Instead, challenge yourself. Go for a walk, not because you have to, but because you want to. You feel good when you go for a walk. You feel good knowing that you are doing something that is getting the blood flowing, feeling good. And as a mother, I love it that these are healthy habits that I teach to our family. All of us together, we eat 6 times a day. All of my clients, whether they're in the weight loss or transition or maintenance, these are healthy habits that they follow for the rest of their lives. They make sure they're hydrated. They make sure they're getting healthy nutrition, healthy sleep. Like, for example, what does healthy sleep look like? We do what's called a digital sunset. An hour before we go to bed, we turn off our devices, turn off the computer, turn off the news, to shut out the chaos of the world, so that we can turn off our mind and do something to calm our minds. Read something peaceful, journal, do a gratitude journal. Those are things that can then turn off our mind so that we can get good restorative sleep. We talk about how to use blackout curtains or a mask, a sleeping mask, so that we can get good, deep, restorative sleep. And we practice these habits so that we can shed the weight, reach our optimal goal, and keep the weight off for the rest of our life. And the reason this is important is, if we're not taking time for our health now, we're going to be forced to make time for our illness. So that's what I have to share. I am Awesome Annie, your awesome health coach. If you have any questions, let's talk.